what it is, man. Detroit versus everybody, man. Detroit, we rep the hardest, man. We gain the hardest. You know what it is, man. Detroit, CJ, holla at your boy when we get home.
All right, man. Let's talk about Spence Crawford and Errol Spence. Should the sanctioning belt bodies do their job and order them to take on Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Ennis? Now you got to ask yourself, do Jerron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz handlers feel that they ready? You know what I'm saying? I think Virgil Ortiz, just on the resume alone, looks to be a lot more prepared than Jerron Ennis. Now, Jerron Ennis, with the visuals, look to be a lot, better visually, than Virgil Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when you start to look at it, I mean, at the end of the day, I think Jerron Ennis, just with the eye test, is definitely ready. And Virgil Ortiz knocked out every opponent that he been in the ring with. So obviously he got a hell of a chance to cause some damage. Virgil Ortiz is number 1 in the WBA, which is really number 2 behind Ennis. He's also number 1 for the WBO, right? So he's petitioning to fight Ennis for the regular belt, to put him one step closer to Errol Spence. Now, Jerron Ennis is number 1 in the IBF and number 2 in the WBC and also number 2 in the WBO. But it looked like, Virgil Ortiz would be the one that's up next to fight Spence Crawford. Now, at the end of the day, I think Virgil Ortiz makes a lot more sense for Spence Crawford than Jerron Ennis does for Errol Spence. And I say that because Spence Crawford doesn't have a company. He doesn't have a promotional company. And the majority of these fighters being with PBC now, he can go out there and probably hash out his own deal with a network, and fight David Alvarez or something like that, or he can get with his own and go to one for a fight or two, and see if what they can do when he can fight in Dallas, and that him fighting Virgil Ortiz in Dallas or him fighting him anywhere may put some pressure for on Errol Spence in the Texas area to make him get in the ring. So he got more to gain versus Virgil Ortiz. Errol Spence don't have nothing to gain versus Jerron Ennis. It's nothing to gain. There's no ground to gain. It's nothing but risk. You beat him, you supposed to beat him. You the professional, you the unified champion. You lose to him, then you was overrated, you was never that good, and you lost all your accomplishments in one fight. And now people say you ain't even a fucking Hall of Famer, losing to a prospect, for most people's opinion, who ain't stepped up and fought a Kavalasis caliber of opponent, who ain't stepped up and fought David Alvarez type of opponent. He fought Custio Clayton, Sergey Lipiev, really good names. But when you start talking about, the Virgil Ortiz's, the Keith Thurmans, when you start talking about, Kavalaskis, Bruce Putin, I'm just looking for Steonis and those type of guys, Alexis Rocha, he ain't fought them. But I think we all know that he been a victim of the politics. We're not coming to fight those opponents. I think we all know what's really good. So, but at the end of the day, they don't actually do their job. If you start to get in there and you start to read the sanctioning belt bodies rule books, a lot of things, everything is pretty much, for most of them, is predicated on the vote. And what you think that sway that vote? It's not allegedly it's not an organic sway. You know what I'm saying? It's not. A lot of times, cash transfers allegedly is what sway those votes. It's what sway those opinions. That's what it is. It's not like, the sanctioning belt bodies are non-profit organizations and separate entities with no connection to the promoters. No. It's like the judicial system is one big old, it's one big old diagram of arrows. You know what I'm saying? Everybody went to law school. You got the lawyers, the district attorney, the judges who all have relationships. That's why, the caliber of lawyer you have is very important. They already have established relationships with the district attorneys. They eat lunch together. They swap people out together. They already have relationships with the judges. You know what I'm saying? So once you start to look at everything about how it is, the same thing here. Al Heyman and Oscar De La Hoya, Bob Arum didn't help put some of the sanctioned belt body kids through college. Twice sometimes when you graduate, and you know what I'm saying? All types of stuff. So It's a big old game. It's money. If somebody actually did get in here and investigate, some of these sanctioned belt bodies been caught for selling ranking spots. You be seeing dudes get mandatories who ain't never fought outside the country. You know what I'm saying? You see it all. You know what I'm saying? You see it all. You know. So but but it is what it is. But honestly, in the perfect world, yeah, that's the way it should be up. Those two got next up. And it's been a lot of situations in boxing where, guys who haven't contended for a belt, younger guys have knocked off, veteran top dogs in the division. And that's true. And that's true. So, but who knows? Virgil Ortiz knocked out everybody, and it's almost knocked out everybody. So, but honestly, Crawford got more to gain, and that's the honest truth. Because if he can go in there in Dallas, Texas area, and he can dog walk Virgil Ortiz and then call out Errol Spence, that's a lot of pressure on Errol Spence. But at this point, I don't think Spence gonna face too much other pressure. Honestly, this damn near rock bottom. We being real, this damn near rock bottom for him. Only way it can get worse if some secret information leak out, or Terrence Crawford take the verbal off the offense or verbally. He started emasculating him over the internet, which he ain't gonna do. So, like I said before, he turned around and fight Keith Thurman. Then people say, "Well, he ain't a man of his word." Man, we can do we can do that down there with every fighter. Every fighter is inconsistent. You got to understand, boxing changed. Like the Four Seasons in Michigan. Changes at a drop of a dime. Nothing stays the same in boxing. The fight could be done on Thursday, and on Tuesday it could be announced that a whole different fight, is being made. That's boxing. Everything is changing. Everything is fluid. In a perfect world, of course, Virgil Ortiz should be next up to fight Terence Crawford or whoever. If it's Errol Spence and Ennis should be next up to fight Terence Crawford or Errol Spence. Whatever it's like, if we gonna stick with the networks, then I get y'all. Crawford is a network free agent. Obviously, it makes the most sense to go over to the zone and fight Virgil Ortiz. And obviously, Errol Spence's last fight was on Showtime. Ennis' last fight was on Showtime. Make a lot of sense. Makes a tremendous amount of sense. So, but usually everything ain't that simple. You know what I'm saying? Could it be it was all so simple? That beat is so hard. No drums on that neither. But it ain't usually that simple. And then if we get to the point where Ennis and Virgil Ortiz start getting belts and start getting recognition, then it's gonna be something totally, completely different thrown in there. They're gonna do the same thing that Crawford and Spence doing. It may be on the easy. It might be on the lesser scale. It might be on a lesser scale, but it's gonna be the same. Here we go, going through the same thing. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? But in a perfect world, yeah, but boxing ain't perfect. It's scurvy. It's grimy. Any adjectives they go with that. And then if you get to the point where Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, pass the baton to those guys, there's gonna be a whole bunch of other bullshit involved just to get them in the ring with each other. Just to get them in the ring with each other. Mark my words again. Just to get them in the ring with each other. They gonna go through their own little saga like this. It ain't never that easy. Never. There's always some type of BS. Too many egos, too much money involved. Nobody wants to lose. You can't have a draw every time. You can't. So, like I said before, in a perfect world, yeah, but it's not so perfect. So, let me know what you girls and guys think, man. A lot of people say, well, Terrence Crawford and Ennis is holding them up for getting the shots at the titles and all that type of shit. At the end of the day, dude, somebody held it up for them too. So we gotta be consistent. Terrence Crawford been wanting to fight Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. He had to wait his turn. He had to wait his turn. He had to wait his turn. So they gotta wait their turn. But I think even though we get to that point where everything is clear for them to fight, it's still gonna be some, we gotta build it up and all that type of stuff. Mark my words. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Check out the welterweight boxing playlist. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase the chance of notifications. We go live and drop video. Financially want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo, CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere. If I hit the link tree, appreciate the love and support. Peace.